Hey gang, welcome to the Cross-Eyed Texan, and as you can tell from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about powdery fragrances. I had a subscriber request a video on some good powdery fragrances, and I was thinking, man, I don't think I have that many. And turns out I got 10 or 12, and I've got 9 or 10 of them sitting out here where to talk about them. They're not going to be in any particular order. I have them all linked into the description fields from Fragrantica, which isn't always the most accurate website, but another reason I chose that website is there's usually links in Fragrantica where you can buy them yourselves. And I'm just going to start with the one that's easiest to reach, and it is Chrome United. As you can tell, I've made a big dent in this bottle right here. And I love this stuff. This has a very nice black tea note. It is not like everything else on the market. It's not it's not super sweet, and it doesn't have a bunch of ambroxan and things in it. And one reviewer, Jay, on his website, he said it's boring. He said, if you like this, you're a boring person. Well, hi, my name is Mr. Boring. But this stuff, as it dries down, has a beautiful powdery smell to it. It's not too feminine, and a lot of guys don't like powdery because they think it's kind of feminine, but I remember wearing talcum powder back in the day, and it smelled pretty masculine to me. But you can generally pick this up for 30 bucks. Now, they have changed it. There's a new formula of this they came out with in 2024, which I'm going to end up buying me another backup bottle of this. That's how much I like it. So there's one. Second is one you may not expect, and it is Bentley for Men Black Edition. There's a lot of tangerine, there's papyri in this. There's all sorts of things in this, and it doesn't get a lot of love, at least I don't think it does. But as this dries down, you get a lovely, and I mean lovely, powdery accord with the papyri in there. It's kind of dry and powdery, and it's just absolutely wonderful. And you can pick this one up for maybe $32. People complain about the performance on this, but I'm getting 6 or 7 hours out of it. I think this is probably more of a fall, winter, and early spring type fragrance. I wore it. Oh, it smells so good. I wore it in the summertime a few days ago just to see how it was, and it kind of gave me a headache. It was just too strong for 98-degree heat. But this is one that people don't mention when they talk about powdery fragrances. Now, when I say powdery fragrances, I don't mean that as the main accord. I mean that as something that has a powdery essence to it. There's two. Everybody knows about this one. Blue Noir Parfum, Narciso Rodriguez. This has a wonderful iris note. It's a little bit sweet, but it's definitely powdery up top. It's powdery. It's musky, and I've made a dent in this one. This is definitely a cooler day. I would say anything below 80 degrees, you can bust this out. But this stuff screams in wintertime. Now, it is a parfum strength, and a lot of people have complained that it doesn't project. Well, EDPs and parfums generally don't project. They make more of a sillage. They make more of a scent trail and sit closer to the skin from the get-go. But as this stuff has sat on my shelf, it has just gotten better. And I think the ladies could get by with wearing this as well. So my friend, and she knows who she is, you could probably get away with wearing this. I'm watching the white balance change on this, so I'm aware of that. That's weird. One that goes in almost every list of powdery fragrances is Burberry Touch. This is fantastic with the cedar wood in it, and all the other elements that it has. The only drawback to this is its abysmal performance. This is 4 hours. Even if you spray it on your clothes, I can still smell that Narciso Rodriguez here in my room. I can smell, I mean, I just wish that it lasted longer. I'm going to make the white balance change. I just wish that it lasted longer. But still, at 30 bucks, you can reapply this fragrance. It's not that big a deal. And if you like powdery fragrances, this needs to be in your collection. One of my favorite ones, one that gets featured over in Ross's channel at TLTG Reviews, is Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blue. Now, there is no powdery note in here that it says, but it does have tonka bean in it. And a lot of times tonka bean will come across powdery and kind of sweet. But it definitely, I don't care what Fragran says, there is definitely a powdery note to this fragrance. And this is a wonderful, wonderful blue fragrance. But it's not for the high heat. I would say this is a 3-season fragrance. You could wear it in the fall, in the winter, and in the early spring. Anything below 80 degrees, you can definitely pull this off. But if you've never tried this and you're a fan of blue fragrances, whether you like powdery things or not, I would highly recommend this. This is fantastic. I picked this tester up for like $25. It's got no cap, but that's fine with me. It's wonderful. Now, this is one I picked up one night because I was bored and I didn't have anything to do. And I think this was $15 from Amazon. And this is Royal Copenhagen EDC. This is an eau de cologne. Now, this might be a dividing line for some gentlemen, and you may not like this at all. But this is super baby powderish stuff. And when I first sprayed it, I didn't like it. But the other night when it was hot and it was like 105 degrees or something like that, and the heat index was close to 120, I took a second shower because it was just friggin' hot. And I took a second shower and I saw this sitting on the shelf and I was like, man, I haven't even put this on. So I sprayed it on, and for the next 3 or 4 hours, this just, it smelled fantastic. And I had a gentleman make a comment, and he said that this reminds him of his dad. And you know, what a great memory to have. I hope that's a good memory for you if you're watching this, because I love things that remind me of people that I love, fragrances that they used to wear. And I know a lady who's got a fragrance that reminds her of her father. And there's wonderful things when that happens. For me, it's Stetson. I lost my father back in January, and anytime I smell the original Stetson, I swear he's around the corner about to bust my ass for something I did stupid. This is what I'm wearing today. This has been featured in other videos before, but this is Armaf Aura Fresh. This is their take on Versace Man of Fresh, and I prefer this one more. One of the reasons I prefer this one more, because if you can see there, it is an eau de parfum, and I get 6 or 7 hours out of this. And as this begins to dry down with the star fruit and all that other stuff, it has this wonderful, fresh, powdery vibe to it. And I was sitting over at my friend's garage one time, and we were barbecuing, and it was a little warm, and we had some fans going, and we're sitting out there listening to music, having a good old time, you know, telling lies, laughing, having a good time. And this kind of wafted through, and somebody goes, man, what is that stuff? That smells good. It just smells clean and fresh. And that's exactly what this smells like. It's clean and fresh. This is good for your soul on a hot day. This is one of my favorite fragrances to wear on a hot day. And I've made a pretty darn good dent in this. And I'm probably going to wear this the rest of this week. And plus, if you're a nerd, it's got a magnetic cap. I love magnetic caps. I don't know why. And the bottle's kind of cool as well. But this is very, very good. So I would highly recommend this. And like I said, the powder in these fragrances is not the main accord, but it's part of it. And to me, a powdery note in a fragrance is like nutmeg in a bechamel sauce and a white sauce. If you put too much, it's going to screw it up. If it's not there, it's going to screw it up. But you've got to put just enough nutmeg in that white sauce to give it that little, wow, what is that type of thing going on. And every fragrance in this list has that, including this. And one that I discovered that I bought toward the end of last winter is Halloween Man Shot. This has iris in it. And it's not that lipsticky, waxy smelling iris. This is more like the iris that you would get in Code, Armani Code Parfum, or the iris that you would get in this. This is about $60 or $70, but if you can't afford that, this is a pretty good substitute for it. It's really good. And I'm getting 5 or 6 hours out of this one right here, which is a lot because my skin is dry as a Sahara Desert. And most things that last on other people don't last on me. And it's frustrating. I want to smell good for a long time. I just generally smell bad for a long time. But this is like 20 or 30 bucks. You can pick it up almost anywhere. This is a great winter time. This stuff rocks when it's about 70 degrees outside. It's sweet on the top. It's got some boozy notes to it. This smells way better than a $25, $30 fragrance has any right to. But this is one I would definitely, and I mean definitely, pick up. This is a good, versatile fragrance. And one of my favorite wintertime fragrances, one of my favorite, especially on the budget end, is this. This is Paris Corners Charuto Tobacco Vanille. This smells like a humidor with vanilla in it. It is amazing. It has killer longevity. And as it dries down with the tonka bean and all the other stuff in this one, it produces this wonderful powdery vibe that just smells great outside. If you're sitting around a fire, inside or outside, if you're sitting outside with friends in the wintertime when it's cool, because we can do that in Texas. I realize not everybody can pull that crap off, but when it's 40 or 50 degrees outside and you're sitting around a little fire in your fire pit, this is what you want to wear. And the ladies could get away with doing this too. They say this is a unisex fragrance. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I think ladies can get away with wearing men's fragrances more so than men can get away with wearing women's fragrances. That's not always true, but it seems to be the case. But this is massively awesome. And yes, you can buy this on Amazon because Paris Corner has their own store on Amazon. And I've seen this for as little as $25. I want to get the red tobacco variant of this and try it out. But when I bought this, I was blown away. I figured that I may or may not like it, but I figured for 25 bucks, forget it. Let's give it a shot and see what I think. But man, this is the one I reach for. My bonus daughter, as I call her, she actually really likes this stuff. She said it smells very, very good. So this is one of my powdery fragrances that I would highly, highly recommend. And last, but certainly not least, possibly the king of the powdery fragrances. And I'm sorry I don't have a big bottle of this yet, but that is soon to change, is Armani Code Parfum, the new one. This stuff is stellar. I've had this for a little bit and I haven't gone through that much of it. You could wear this in 80 degree weather or below. Hot weather, not so much, unless, of course, now I'm going to make a caveat. And if you're in the air conditioning, you can wear whatever you dang well please. But if you're going to be outside, there's some of these things that I've reviewed that I won't recommend in the heat because you're going to gag somebody or gag yourself. But I haven't bought a full bottle of this, but that is going to change. This is fresh up top with the bergamot. This has a versatility to it that some of the other ones don't, you know, and it's very insanely good. It's probably one of my favorite things that Armani produces is this, and that includes some of the Acqua di Gio stuff. This has a personality and a vibe all its own, and it is definitely, if you could only buy one of the fragrances that I talked about in this list, I would have to say save your money and buy this. This is outstanding. It is so good. I can't wait for it to start cooling off. But anyway, that's my little list, and that's my powdery. Oh, I've got one more for you that's going to blow your mind. Yeah, you thinking that doesn't have a powdery note to it? Yes, it does. But it's not apparent right away. It takes about an hour or so. But this has a wonderful, fresh, metallic, inky, kind of powdery vibe to it. And this, so far, this is the best fragrance Armaf makes, in my humble opinion. And you know what I say, opinions are like noses. Nobody wants to pick anybody else's. But this actually has a nice powdery vibe to it. So I would recommend any one of these that I talked about. I think if you're really a big fan of Iris, Narciso Rodriguez, or Armani Code Parfum, I think the one that performs the best, at least on my skin, is the Narciso Rodriguez. It is a fantastic fragrance, leaves a great sillage. But any of the ones that I've listed here is absolutely fantastic. And I've tried to put something from, you know, in everybody's budget, so you can find something that you really enjoy. And I hope this was helpful to you. And I wish I could remember the name of the subscriber who wanted to see this. But there you go. That's it. It didn't take too terribly long, because I don't think it should. But like I said, any one of these you're going to be happy with. And the best one, the absolute best one for the summertime, is this. If you haven't tried this, get your nose on it. You won't be sorry. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Like and subscribe if you like fragrance content, if you like wet shaving content, if you like to talk about soaps and good body washes, things that make you smell on the outside like you feel on the inside. And also, don't forget, there's going to be a little bit of encouragement to help you feel better on the inside, because you can smell great and all that stuff, but if you're not rocking it on the inside, you're not rocking it on the outside. And there might be an occasional watch review thrown in every now and then too. But God bless you guys. I appreciate you making this channel as big as it's gotten, and we are about that close to getting monetized. I need to get up to 4,000 viewing hours, and I am at like 3,927 or something like that. But anyway, I hope you like it. Share the video. Leave me a comment. Like I always say, don't just take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else, because that's where the reward is. Talk to y'all later.